been a while since I have done a video in the garden, so I thought we should take a tour, a wine tour. Yum. Anyway, if y'all know how tall I am, you know that these sunflowers are way taller than me. They're looking really good. Well, I got some green onions in here. We use so many green onions now because I make so many foods that have green onions in them. So I'm constantly buying them and regrowing them in the garden. These right here are going to be spaghetti squash. Got a wee bit of basil in here and some kale. I already got a couple pepperoncinis off of this plant, so that's cool. And this used to have a whole bunch of lettuce in it, but then I got rid of it because it was just too darn hot for the lettuce. So over here I'm growing some purple basil, and I believe these might be cauliflowers, yes. So I'm hoping that they will be good for a fall harvest because it's too hot for cauliflower. Kale and carrots over here. And I'm gonna have to spray this with some copper spray because it's a little bit funky on the end here. But this is a winter squash. So we've got a couple different varieties of kale. We have like this, curly kale, and then this is the flat leaf kale. Love kale, as you can see. Love it. It's delicious. This is chard. I don't eat as much of the chard as I eat of the kale. I just feel like kale is just the best. It's just the best one. So this was one of my, it's a fire truck. That's why it's so loud. So this was a volunteer cherry tomato plant that just grew out of nowhere, and it's really doing well. And there's a whole bunch of little baby tomatoes on there. And back here we have a spaghetti squash. That's actually a climbing plant, so I think it's actually gonna start climbing onto the fence. But there is a spaghetti squash down here that we're going to have. We gotta back up a hot minute, because these tomatoes are just juicy. Again, these are completely volunteer tomatoes. I don't remember planting them. Definitely came from the compost. Now, what kind of tomatoes they're going to be, I don't know. But I'm kind of hoping that they're heirloom, because those heirloom tomatoes are so tasty and they're so good. Look how big that is. Look at my hand. That's a big tomato. We're gonna have some carrots here. This is not growing that well because it doesn't get any sun because of these giant tomato plants. That was a collard green. Is a collard green. That's a bean. I just had some leftover bean seeds, and I thought, what the hey? Bean, basil, and cilantro. And I will take you out to the outside and we can look at these little cucumbers. These are actually doing really well. They are climbing right up onto the fence. And here we are again with my 1, 2, 3 volunteer tribute tomatoes. I do think these are heirlooms because they're kind of in an awkward shape, and that was kind of how my heirlooms were last year. And I had a lot of them, and I ate a lot of them, and I made the mistake of putting them in the compost. I learned my lesson. But I'm also not mad because I'm growing a whole bunch of tomatoes, which is delicious. Giant towering sunflower here. These zinnias in the back are so pretty. They're big. They are big zinnias. And then we have like the smaller guys, whole mess of carrots right there. these are actually going to be parsnips if they grow. These are my peppers that I planted from seed. Truly thought they were going to die earlier this season. They were looking so sad. But look it. I'm going to have a wee jalapeno. I think we did something right. Once again, we have a volunteer tribute tomato. I am really super hoping that these are Romas. They're kind of in the shape of Romas. I definitely ate a lot of Roma tomatoes last year because they're delicious. And if I could grow a whole bunch of Romas and then make my own sauce, that would be bomb. And here's my beautiful little zinnias. It's gonna be my next tattoo. One of these little beauties. The bees love them. The bees just love them. We have a husky cherry red tomato here, and then this is like a salsa hybrid variety. But as you can see, these are ripening. We get about 4 or 5 of them every day, and I just put them in whatever food I'm making. Oh, these are actually ready to pick. This is a pink blush brandywine tomato, and they are very big and very sweet. And I made, what did I make? I made bruschetta. I made bruschetta with them yesterday, and when I came home, Tony was literally eating it by the spoonful, so pretty good. And I also used a local maple flavored balsamic vinegar to dress it, and I used my own basil, and it's so good. It tastes so good. But anyways, I'm gonna have to come over here after I'm done filming this and pick the rest of these tomatoes, because there's one guy under there. So this is really just there's really not much I can do about this, because this is the like expanding and then contracting of the fruits when the weather decides to do whatever the heck it wants, which is what it does. My little mason bees, I don't know if you can see them in there. They're probably not in there right now, but that's their little home. They are not aggressive. They are small. They actually kind of look like flies, but they are super pollinators, which is probably why I have so much fruit on my tomato plants. And then this whole freaking mess over here is my cucumber plants, which are doing pretty well. I'm gonna have a couple cucumbers pretty soon, and I just keep spraying them with my copper spray because it's hot, it's humid, and there are squash bugs everywhere, and they leave fungus on my plants, and so there's always a little bit of fungus, and it's really annoying because I work so hard to keep them fungus free, and it's a process, you know. As you can see, the pumpkins are looking real pumpkin-y. I don't know why I changed it to selfie view, because I wanted to show you the pumpkins. Pumpkin number 1, and then we have 2 and 3, and then we have a little butternut squash in there. And then this pumpkin just came up like a week and a half ago. But the vines they're kind of dying. So I think you can, where is it? Okay, there's one right there. And then there's one. I don't know if he's doing all right or not. But so I planted a bunch of extra pumpkin seeds in there because, I mean, we're used to seeing pumpkins in the fall, right? Well, it's like the dead of summer, and I'm over here having like freaking Halloween extravaganza with my pumpkins. So I'm just hoping that the pumpkin seeds that I planted take, and then they produce pumpkins well into the fall. That's some cauliflower in there. I don't know if it's actually gonna get cauliflower on it. I'm not really sure if I trust it or not. This is one of my beautiful little butternut squashes, and that is a wee baby fruit, and I hope it gets pollinated because I love butternut squash. These strawberries are just wild. They're just absolutely wild. This is another butternut squash plant, 2 plants rather. So there are 2 cages side to side. And as you can see, there is another little baby plant there. So I'm hoping that that gets pollinated. We've got lots of male flowers here, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's a pretty healthy looking plant. It was a little ratty in the beginning. Got a little fungusy, but I think I saved it. It's my lemon balm and my thyme. They're looking a little wonky here, but I think it's really just that they're flowering and the plants are old. I mean, this plant is like 2 years old. It's a perennial, so it will grow back, but starting some more basil over here. It looks like it needs a little bit of water. This sage is just sagey. Volunteer tomato plant, again, I have to look at this because I'm not, I am not sure what kind of tomato this is going to be. It hasn't actually produced any fruit yet. Based on the leaves, I'm wondering if it is an indeterminate variety of cherry tomato, although I'm not sure. The peppers. I'm gonna have a lot of peppers. I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know. These are just green peppers. They're just green bell peppers, so they're not super flavorful. If anyone has any ideas on what to do with all these peppers, let me know, because normally I just like cut them up and, like, you know, put them in salad or whatever. These, oh, look at this baby. Oh my God, yes, it's beautiful. These are the hot Portugal. These are hot peppers, and they are hot, hot, hot. Oh, this one's ready to pick. How awesome. Let's pick it. Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. I want to dry it and then crush it and make my own, like, pepper seasoning. This is just a hot mess over here. These plants. It's another spaghetti squash. I don't think this actually got pollinated. I think it's just, I don't think it got, obviously that one did. That one's going to be a beautiful spaghetti squash. I don't even know. I think we did a lot of growing for a while and a lot of producing, and now we're taking a break and letting our old leaves die off. But this one down here, I feel like there's a lot of, where are you? Yeah, there's some new growth coming. And I mean, I have gotten so many squash off of these plants already, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, we're done, we're tired. Here's my other kale patch. I'm trying to leave it alone and let it grow so I can get like big bushels rather, bunches of kale, like, at a time, because it tastes better when you get to eat a lot of it at once. Like, normally I'll just come by and I'll just pick like little baby leaves and cook them and stuff, but I want to, like, just let them grow. This is the other side of the cucumber thing. It just looks just an absolute hot mess because they just grow and they grow and they grow and they grow and they grow, and then they grow all over each other, and they're like not properly social distancing. Yeah, but they're making cucumbers, so that's fine with me. These butternut squash, I don't know, they're a little bit like, yeah, we're not gonna do nice things. I just hope I get some more pumpkins out of this patch. Look at these leaves. They're just like, we're done. This party sucks. It's over. We're done. We're leaving. The broccoli is currently being taken over by my raspberries, which these are late producers. These are red raspberries. These are Latham red raspberries. So look at these disgusting bugs. Freaking orgy on my plants. Get out of here, you bastards. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I hate June bugs. They are the bane of my existence. Anyway. So the broccoli is, like, struggling to grow. It's also hot as heck out here, and so it's really hard for plants in the brassica family to grow in the heat. So cauliflower, cabbages, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, those kinds of things. They don't like the heat. So, let's go look at some more tomatoes. You know, because I don't have enough. I don't have enough of those. These are Carolina Gold tomatoes. Oh, and this one is ripe. Bing. They're pretty. They're yellow. Excuse me. This has like 4 plants on it, and this has 2. And so they're 2 different varieties. Look at the little cucumber. A couple more days and that'll be really good. Look at these sneaky little ones on the ground here. I see you, cucumber. Oh goodness. Oh, I think that's actually ready to pick, y'all. Got myself a cucumber and a tomato. That's good. Maybe I can make some pickles. The pickles go fast in my house. So we have 2 different varieties of cucumbers. As you can see, the leaves look a little bit different, a little bit fungally. What did we have? So we have a burpless hybrid, and then we have a Boston pickling, and some sage. So some of the cucumbers that were like a little bit fungally are kind of weird shaped, and I don't know if those are gonna taste as good, but I'll probably just end up pickling them, and then like if they're not as good, they'll be pickled and maybe I won't notice. You know how that happens when you're like, well, if it's crappy, I'll just pickle it, you know. Cucumbers. We have another cucumber over here. Kind of sad looking though. Look at it. Look at this fungal freaking nonsense garbage. Oh, hello. Have a yellow pepper. Yellow pepper. I'm just collecting things as I go. This is my zinnies. Hello, zinnies. Tomatoes are looking. I gotta trim some of these ickly leaves. Okay, I'll be in a minute. My children are going to bed. They want my attention. Plants are dying back here. Those are the old blackberry bushes, raspberry bushes. This is my compost pile and my yellow squash, which like literally recently just gave me like 10 squash, and there's already more growing. So everything tomorrow is gonna need a fungal spray. That's powdery mildew. We don't like that. Yuck. Oh yeah, my beans. These beans are looking kind of sad. Everything in this corner was a little bit fungally because my neighbor had a fungally tree actually up on the other side of that shed over there, and I swear that it was just blowing leaves covered in fungus all over my garden, and I think that's where it came from. But luckily the tree was dead and he had to take it down, so I'm hoping that that's the end of the fungus. I have a lot of, look at these ants, look at these jerks trying to get my produce. Get out of here. Get out of here. Ah. Anyway. So, that's my garden, y'all. It's wild. It's thick. Like me. I like them thick. I like them thick. Anyway. It's hot as heck out here, and I have to go say goodnight to my children, but come hang out in my garden. I'll make you some food. I'll make you whatever you want. Just come visit. Wear your mask, you know. Take care of yourselves. And stay cool.